everybody, my name's Andrew and today I'm driving a 2020 Toyota CHR Limited. As it's now September, we have had this car for 1 year and I've been meaning to make a video with it pretty much since we got it. But since we've now had it for a full year, I'm going to quickly show you around it and then we'll take it for a drive and talk about what it's been like to own and live with this car for the past 12 months. For those unfamiliar, the CHR is currently Toyota's smallest crossover offering in the US. It was originally released for the 2018 model year, but this is of course a 2020, which benefited from a slight facelift with minor visual changes both inside and out, and the addition of this new top-end Limited model. On the outside, the Limited trim features these rather nice 18-inch alloy wheels, as well as restyled full LED headlights, including the largest front turn signals I have ever seen. Just for scale, that's my forearm. That's like 2 feet of turn signal right there. The giant front turn signals, though, really set the bar for the styling of the rest of this car. It is certainly unique, there's no denying that. A lot of people don't like the way it looks, but I actually think it looks pretty cool. The CHR was actually originally intended to be a Scion in the US. Scion was, for a while, Toyota's kind of funky, millennial, more affordable brand that they had in the US. And this car was well under development by the time Scion was killed off in 2017. In fact, they already had a concept version of it out, I think, the year before, which explains why it looks the way it does, and why it's called the CHR, and why the interior is so quirky. The interior of this car is filled with diamonds. Not actual diamonds, but some things are diamond patterned, like the door sills, or the door panels, or the speaker panels, or the seats, and even the headliner has a diamond pattern on it. And other things are diamond shaped, like the steering wheel buttons, and the climate control buttons, and the air vents. And of course the name CHR doesn't really fit in with the rest of Toyota's lineup, Camry, Corolla, etc., despite starting with a C. But if you remember, Scion's models were always 2 or 3 letters, like the FRS or the XB. So it fits in very well with the Scion naming structure. Fun fact, CHR actually stands for Crosshatch Runabout, or Coupe High Rider, depending on which one you want to call it. So, how has the CHR been to live with for the last 12 months? Well, the short answer is exactly how you'd expect it to be. Literally nothing has gone wrong with it. It hasn't cost us anything other than fuel and obviously the monthly payment. It just recently had its first service at 10,000 miles, and of course that was free because Toyota has the first 2 years of servicing free. It hasn't been to the dealer for anything other than that, so it hasn't had any warranty work or anything like that, which again is not really surprising because of course it's a Toyota. This is just a nice little daily car, which is really what it was intended to be. The seats are super comfortable. They're the same seats actually as in the Corolla that I reviewed recently, which again were super comfortable. It's pretty efficient. I think we've averaged around 30 miles to the gallon in the last 11,500 miles that we've had it. And we really don't have any major complaints with the car. There are a few small things that do bother me personally. For one thing, the fuel tank is incredibly small, and I do mean it's incredibly small. It's like 11 gallons. It might actually be less than that. So despite getting good fuel economy, you are going to be filling it up pretty often. Like the Corolla that I just drove a few weeks ago, the interior is very nice for the price point. It has the same super comfortable seats, nice clicky buttons, and overall feels pretty premium, especially for a $30,000 compact car. It also has plenty of technology features. Of course, it has the full Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 suite of features with automatic high beams, blind spot monitoring, radar guided cruise control, the lot. However, it is missing a few strange things. For one thing, it doesn't have a sunroof, despite this being a fully loaded limited trim with no options available other than the two-tone paintwork. It's also missing a power tailgate out back. And another small annoyance with this car is actually to do with the styling. Despite me liking the way it looks, there is no getting around the fact that its funky angles do impact visibility somewhat in the rear. There is a pretty big blind spot back there. I don't know if you'll be able to see it from this camera angle. And when you're sitting in the back seat, despite having plenty of space to move around, it does actually feel somewhat claustrophobic because the rear window is quite small. Overall though, this car is a very nice fit for the purpose that it was bought for. This car is primarily driven by my mom, and she wanted a small crossover SUV, nothing too big, but big enough to comfortably seat at least 4 people and carry a little bit of stuff in the back, which it can do. And she wanted something, more importantly, that she wasn't going to have to worry about ever. So if all continues to go as expected with the CHR, it should stick around for quite a while. If you enjoyed this video or found it informative, give it a thumbs up, or consider subscribing because I have plenty more content coming with this car and others.